Welcome to Behind the Tape, where we unravel the darkest mysteries, chilling disappearances, and unsolved crimes that continue to haunt history. Tonight, we dive into one of the most enigmatic vanishings of the 20th century, a case that shook Britain's elite and left investigators chasing shadows for decades. The story of John Bingham, the 7th Earl of Lucan, is one filled with scandal, wealth, and an unsolved mystery that has baffled investigators for nearly half a century. He was a man of privilege, a member of high society, and yet, he remains one of the most elusive fugitives in British history. What happened to the Vanishing Earl? And why did he disappear without a trace? This is the chilling story of the Lord Lucan disappearance. Richard John Bingham, better known as Lord Lucan, was the epitome of British aristocracy. Born in 1934 into a wealthy and influential family, he was raised in an environment of privilege. He attended Eton, one of England's most prestigious schools, and later served in the Coldstream Guards. He was charming, well-spoken, and charismatic, a man who easily mingled with London's elite. However, behind the polished facade, there was something darker lurking. Lord Lucan had a passion for gambling, which quickly turned into an addiction. He was obsessed with high-stakes games and reckless betting, often losing vast sums of money at the baccarat table. Despite his charm, his gambling losses made his financial situation precarious. His obsession with wealth, control, and status would eventually lead to one of the most infamous crimes in British history. Lucan's life took a downward spiral in the late 1960s when his marriage to Veronica Duncan collapsed. The divorce was acrimonious, and a bitter custody battle over their 3 children ensued. Veronica accused Lucan of being physically and emotionally abusive, while he insisted she was mentally unstable. The courts ruled in Veronica's favor, granting her full custody of the children, a decision that enraged Lucan. The Earl became obsessed with regaining his children. He began stalking Veronica, hiring private investigators to track her movements, and even attempting to discredit her in court. He was convinced she was an unfit mother and believed he was the rightful guardian of their children. His growing resentment festered into something sinister. Then, on the evening of November 7, 1974, everything came to a head. Veronica lived at 46 Lower Belgrave Street in London, a well-to-do neighborhood where she resided with their children and the family's nanny, Sandra Rivet. That evening, Sandra went down to the basement to make tea. As she stepped into the dimly lit room, she was suddenly and viciously attacked. A man, later believed to be Lord Lucan, bludgeoned her to death with a piece of lead pipe, mistaking her for Veronica. Moments later, Veronica herself was attacked. She fought desperately, managing to escape and raise the alarm at a nearby pub. Bloodied and hysterical, she screamed that her husband had tried to kill her. The police were called immediately, but by the time they arrived, Lucan had vanished into the night. In the hours following the attack, Lucan made a series of frantic phone calls to friends, claiming there had been a terrible accident. He insisted that he had walked into the house only to find his wife fighting with an unknown intruder. According to his account, he had struggled with the attacker before escaping, but the evidence painted a very different picture. Lucan's car was later found abandoned in Newhaven, near the English Channel. Inside, police discovered bloodstains and an empty bottle of vodka. Had Lucan planned his escape? Did he board a ferry to France, or did he meet a darker fate? Witnesses reported seeing a well-dressed man matching Lucan's description at the docks, but no concrete proof of his movements ever surfaced. Over the decades, numerous theories emerged about Lord Lucan's whereabouts. Some believed he fled to Africa, using his aristocratic connections to evade capture. Others claimed he lived in India, reinventing himself under a new identity. Sightings of Lucan were reported in Australia, South America, and even as far as New Zealand, yet none could be confirmed. There were also darker theories. Some speculated that Lucan's wealthy friends helped him disappear, providing him with false documents and shelter. Others suggested he took his own life, perhaps throwing himself into the English Channel, never to be found. The mystery deepened when his family refused to declare him dead, clinging to the belief that he was still alive. In 1999, after 25 years of speculation, Lord Lucan was officially declared dead. His son, George Bingham, inherited the title, but the fate of the 7th Earl of Lucan remains one of the greatest mysteries of modern crime history. No body was ever found. No confession was ever made. And no conclusive evidence proved whether he was dead or alive. Even today, the case continues to capture the imagination of crime enthusiasts and investigators alike. Was Lord Lucan a cold-blooded killer, or was he framed? Did he spend the rest of his life in hiding, looking over his shoulder, or did he meet a more tragic fate soon after the crime? The disappearance of Lord Lucan remains one of Britain's most infamous mysteries, a case that still haunts detectives and crime enthusiasts alike. It is a chilling reminder of how wealth and privilege can sometimes shield the guilty from justice. As we wrap up this deep dive into the Vanishing Earl, we invite you to share your thoughts. Do you think he was helped by powerful friends? Did he live out his days in exile, or did he meet a more sinister fate? Let us know in the comments below. And if you love unraveling the darkest mysteries and unsolved crimes, make sure to subscribe to Behind the Tape. We'll see you in the next case, because every crime has a story waiting to be told.